UAB's research and development enterprise has never been more vital. Our B.L. Harvard Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is effectively identifying and advancing our most promising discoveries to the marketplace. One area which we're making tremendous strides is sports safety research and development. We are addressing the concussion crisis in football through the dedicated work of faculty in many areas across campus. UAB's industry-leading experts from engineering and medicine are doing groundbreaking interdisciplinary research spanning our basic science labs to large clinical trials of traumatic brain injury. We are identifying the markers of concussion in athletes and pioneering new materials for helmets that can reduce impact forces and thereby mitigate concussions. And Dr. Kathy Nugent, Executive Director of our Harvard Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, who will share the details of the new partnership with VICIS that we are celebrating today.
It's really exciting to have all of you here today to learn about our new partnership with VICIS and in our combined efforts to create the safest football helmet possible. I also want to thank Dave Marver, the CEO of VICIS, and the legendary Tony Dorsett, who is with us here today. You know, Tony has taken the time to come and talk to us today because he really understands how important it is to develop new and innovative technologies to keep our athletes safer, especially related to technologies that will reduce the severity of head impacts in football. Dr. Watts mentioned Dr. Dean Sicking, who has really been leading our efforts in this area. And he's often quoted saying, you know, football helmets have been designed traditionally to prevent skull fractures, and they do a pretty good job at that, but they have not evolved to address the concussion crisis and the concussion issue. So from day one, his team has been focused on developing a new helmet technology that's based on science and engineering, that's really driven by the science. They've been busy working to make new helmet materials that are designed to provide impact reduction so that the athlete is actually exposed to less risk of brain injury. We feel that VICIS is truly an innovative company, and they share the same mission, the same values, the same beliefs that we do, which at its core is keeping the athlete safe.
We are so pleased to have forged this relationship with UAB. This university boasts a world-class medical center and expertise in mechanical engineering and materials science. And of course, it's also located right in the heart of SEC country, in proximity to some of the best football played in America, which doesn't hurt. Together with UAB, we're going to develop some real innovations and real breakthroughs in helmet technology. As a company, we've been fortunate to attract a leading slate of clinicians and neurosurgeons who serve as advisors to the company, but we've also been able to attract an equally impressive group of current and former athletes who have invested in the company or otherwise support us or serve as advisors. And some examples include Roger Staubach, Jerry Rice, Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin, and of course, Hall of Famer and Heisman Trophy winning running back Tony Dorsett, who's with us here today. So I'd like Tony to come on up for a few minutes and join me if he would. Tony.
I've been involved in quite a few concussions. I've been diagnosed right now with CTE because of the concussions that I had playing, most of them from the National Football League. And I've looked at this helmet, and I'm not an expert on helmets, but I've worn a lot of helmets, and I've taken a lot of hits. And I've looked at this helmet, and this helmet, I've become very impressed with this helmet. Now, I haven't been in the labs or anything to see the tests and all that stuff, what it's going to do. And how, because guys, the impacts when you're running, sometimes your head's twisted this way, that way. I don't know what it's going to do, but I tell you what, just looking at this helmet and looking at the ones that I was wearing at the time, or maybe some that I see nowadays, if I had a choice, I would pick that helmet. kids are getting bigger, they're getting stronger, the impacts are becoming more violent. And so the more we can protect these athletes on the field, obviously, the better the game is going to become, and obviously less injuries that we'll have, especially with head trauma. Head trauma is something that, man, I tell you, just from my experiences, it's been quite a learning experience for me, but it's been one that I don't wish on anyone, because having to deal with what I have to deal with on certain days, I have good days, I have bad days, to not know, how to get to places that I've been going to for 20 years, just trying to figure it out. And thank God for GPS. If it weren't for GPS, I tell you, Lord Jesus, I'd be having a tough time. You get a chance to get better equipment that's more suitable for the game, because it's a very, I don't want to say violent, but there's a lot of impact. And sometimes the impact is violent. And so to have something, equipment like this, I think is going to help take this game and move this game to another level, and obviously keep a lot of young athletes from having to experience some of the experiences that I've experienced.